So hey there, welcome to Q&A 29. It's been a few weeks since the last Q&A video, and that's for good reason. I was letting the questions build up and resonate like a fine wine. Except this fine wine asks me, which celebrity would you most like to do, John? Anyway, I wanted to give a quick mention to this new comedy channel called Jash. It kind of sounds like I have a speech impediment right now, like I'm trying to say Ash, but Jash comes out for some odd reason. Anyway, it's this comedy channel on YouTube. It's like a collaboration with all these big name comedians. You have Michael Cera, Sarah Silverman. Anyway, this comedy channel has all these big comedians, and each one has their own YouTube channel, so you can go there, subscribe to each one of them. Anyway, just a channel I thought you guys might want to check out. It's called Jash. Check them out. There's a new video on there by comedian Reggie Watts. It's funny stuff. Subscribe, annotation down here. I'll put it right there beside the Bane mask. And if you go there, put a thumbs up on the video and tell them Johnny Flickster sent you. Doesn't that sound like, it sounds like an old gangster name from the 1930s. Yeah, you see that, coppers? Johnny Flickster's coming here to town, and now you... Okay, I'm gonna shut the hell up now. Let's dive into Q&A 29. Does this make anyone else feel awkward? I didn't think so. That's why I like you guys. By the way, my laptop broke, so that's why we're doing this camera angle today, because I'm reading it off my desktop. Something about Toshiba laptops. They don't want to last longer than like 6 months, and then they just break. I feel like they make them with like Chinese newspapers and rubber bands. They just twist it all together, hoping nothing breaks inside of it. Anyway, first question of the day is, which celebrities would you like to kick in the balls? Which celebrities would I like to kick in the balls? Well, technically, this celebrity I wouldn't kick in the balls unless she's hiding something, but maybe right in the baby maker. What the fuck is... Anyway, it would be Kim Kardashian. Like, she's done nothing. All she does is go around on TV and buy shit. She has no personality. Why is she on TV? I've never really understood it. You know, Paris Hilton... I'd like to elbow her right in the nose and just smash it repeatedly. But usually just the only celebrities I'd like to physically harm are, and that sounds so violent, but maybe not harm them, put them in a cage down in my basement and feed them like raw fish meat. It's been a couple weeks. I'm trying to warm back up here. Anyway, yeah, probably just the reality stars. The whole cast of Jersey Shore. I dip him in a vat of acid. Hey Johnny, if Nicolas Cage was Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, think of Nicolas Cage's voice from Lord of War. Bane will have a very strange voice. Why do I have this setting beside me? Just in case that happened. Well, you probably have like, hey Batman, I put a bomb somewhere in Gotham City and I'm gonna blow it up. A, B, C, D. You know, something like that. Yo, Johnny, what would you rather have for dinner within a locked sex chamber while wearing a leather suit like a gimp in Pulp Fiction, Leatherface, Hannibal Lecter? Oh, who would I rather have to dinner? I'm sorry, I read your question wrong. Who would I rather have to dinner? Leatherface, Hannibal Lecter, Patrick Bateman covered in blood, or a fat, sweating, naked mall Santa wearing the Christmas hat and an elephant thong? I'm gonna take a sip of my water as I contemplate that. Shit. Okay, here it goes. The gimp from Pulp Fiction is disgusting. You just know he's been used and violated a little too much, plus the smell of leather is going to sick me out. Leatherface, his face is falling off. I can't eat a real meal looking at that. How could I eat a bologna sandwich looking at that guy's face? Hannibal Lecter, he's somewhat of a classy guy. I think he'll keep his table manners, but afterwards he might hit me in the back of the head with a hammer and kill me. Patrick Bateman, covered in blood, still a nice guy. I like his etiquette, and he's going to talk about, you know, some 1980s music, like Studio, or the fat, naked mall Santa. That's definitely a no. That's the worst one of the bunch. So probably go with Patrick Bateman on there. Hey Johnny Test, if Batman died, which Robin would you like to become? Batman? In my opinion, it should be the third Robin. I would like to become the Robin that was like the little blonde-haired kid that stole the tires off the Batmobile, whatever one that was. How do you like to relax? You go into the bathroom, you take a Reader's Digest, and you just read the articles and the jokes. That or watch a good movie. Last night, I watched Avatar. I know, it's weird, ain't it? I wanted to go to Pandora. I just felt like watching Sigourney Weaver as a hot Avatar. And then I put on the blue neon lights behind my TV, and I went there. And Sam Worthington was over there with his little skinny legs. Made me feel really awkward. What was the biggest change in your life? The biggest change in my life. I made a change just last fall. I moved into my first house. That was the first time I moved. Well, that was technically the second time I moved away from home, but this one was a little bit more permanent. That was one of the biggest changes. I remember when I was younger, we moved to Georgia, and that was a little bit different. And yeah, it was completely different culture down there from Indiana. It's bizarre how things like that work out. But I remember building a treehouse, and we played in a creek, and it was fun. I feel like Huckleberry Finn. What kind of camera would you recommend for $500 or less? You know, my old camera, I don't know what this one costs now, but I used to use it HDR XR160. If you guys watch my last video where I go in Walmart and play around and throw a grenade, and it was a fun vlog video. Go there, that's the camera I use. So if you like that, maybe try to pick that camera up. Should be under 500 by now. What 80s teen movie character would you want to hang out with? That's a great question. I would like to hang out with Corey Feldman or Corey Haim. Either one of the Coreys. We could just hang out and get Corey Feldman over there. Hey, John, what are you doing? Because he talks like a frog. And then Corey Haim's over there like doing cocaine or something. Here's an odd question. It kind of goes with the t-shirt. If Doc from Back to the Future appeared in your driveway, what would you do? Hey, John, it's your parents. 1.21 gigawatts. And then, what the? That sounded like Seth Rogen, didn't it? Oh, 1.21 gigawatts. There we go. That's the Doc Brown I know. And then I come out, I'm all like Marty McFly'd out. I'm like, hey, Doc, what do you mean? Whoa. And then we get into his, I know the name, DeLorean, and we fly off down the road. And then my neighbors all call the cops because they're all paranoid. Like, there's a flying fucking car on our road. And then, you know, no one ever talks about it again. What would I do? I'd go with them. I want to go. I'm tired of now. I hate the present day. I want to go into the past or the future. All right. Let's keep going here. Jesus, that's a violent question. Something about Marilyn Monroe's dead corpse. Maybe. Are you getting The Hobbit on Blu-ray? If it's cheap enough, one day I will. But I need to be in the mood to watch it again, and right now I'm just not in that mood. I did pick up a few good Blu-ray movies the other day for a great price, and I got them on camera, so maybe I'll share that video eventually. Some great deals. I kind of surprised myself. But those will come up maybe next week. Hey, John, besides John, what would you want your name to be? My mom actually told me one time she was gonna call me Nicolas. Like, I was like, I don't feel like a Nicolas. Like, people would call me Nicky. I couldn't deal with that bullshit. You can call me Johnny and not Nicky. I couldn't deal with it. But if I could pick any name for myself, I don't know. Like, if I had blonde hair, I call myself Zach. I don't know why. Maybe that's some kind of weird reference from Saved by the Bell. I'd legally change my name to Bane. How's that for you? Have you seen the new trailer to Chloe Grace? Fucking middle names with actors. I hate it. Chloe Moretz, aka Hit Girl, called Carrie, the remake. I have seen the Carrie remake trailer. The camera zooms in over the city, and she's standing there covered in blood. I could live without it. Do you prefer blowjob porn or regular porn? Something about a man's genitals up close just never really was what I needed when I went to my you know, when I was experiencing my man time. I need more. I need more of the physical female form in my shot. It's an art form. Oh, do you ever go back and watch your Q&As? If so, do you realize that you've... Okay, this sentence is the most defragmented English sentence I've ever read in my life. This should be studied by science, because it doesn't... Basically, do I realize that I've answered the same question 1,700 times? For the most part, yes, but I try to give a different answer every time just to make it fun. I have went back and watched a few of my Q&As a while back, and I'm like, what the hell did I just say? It was funny, though. Because keep in mind, most of these Q&As I make at like 3 o'clock in the morning without sleeping. So I try to give you the most honest answers I possibly can, right from my soul, my dark, decrepit soul. Do an Irish accent. Jesus, are you guys ready to be offended? An Irish accent. Let's go down to the pub and fight. What the fuck was that? No, I can do a Scottish accent. You can take our land, but you can't take our freedom. An Irish accent, though? Top of the morning to ya. That just sounds... I sound like I'm tone deaf. I don't know. John, what are your top 3 smells? Vanilla, freshly cut grass clippings, and the scent of a woman. There you go. I just applied for roles in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, The Avengers 2, and Camp Rock 3. What do you think of this? I think that's glorious. So I guess you're maybe trying to be an extra or something in the movies. That's cool. I mean, I'm jealous of you. Plus, extras get paid like $60 a day, and they get like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That'd be pretty cool. Do you think I will be cool? Yes, I do. Hey John, Matt here. What if Quentin Tarantino made a horror film? I think it'd be pretty damn good. I mean, the guy basically knows how to do gore. I mean, you just look at the Kill Bill movies or any movie the guy's ever done. There's people getting their ligaments and all kinds of crazy shit chopped off. So I think he could pull it off. What are the things I or anyone need to be allowed to be friends? Oh. I don't know. Be a super cool dude and have a car, because I want you to drive me around. I hate driving. I used to like it, but now I want people to like take me around. I just want to put a blindfold on and I wake up somewhere and you're like, we're here. Batman Nolan, or Memento, Prestige, Inception Nolan. I prefer Inception / Prestige / Batman Nolan. So half the movies he's done, I prefer that Nolan. Will there be 2 parts to Q&A 29? Shitload of questions. Indeed, there are a shit ton of questions today. I have, where the fuck am I? 500 something questions, I believe. Almost 6. You know what? Maybe in a few days I will do a part 2. How's that? Because there's so many questions, I want to get to them. So, hey John, have you ever played paintball? If not, I totally recommend it. I used to play paintball all the time back in the day. Give me a second. Can you guys hold on? Just hold on. Talk amongst yourselves down below. By the way, ask some more questions down below, and I'll answer those next week in the next Q&A after part 2 of Q&A of this one. So Q&A 31 is when I'll answer the questions down below on this one. Talk amongst yourselves. Don't judge me. Found it. I found it. Jesus. Okay, I just had to search back in there. Back in high school, I was on the newspaper staff, and I also played a lot of paintball. I was very into paintball. And they ran an article on me and some other guys who were on this paintball team. Here it is right here. Now, see this guy right here? All decked out with his tactical vest and his badass A5. Who do you think that guy is? That's me. I was into shit back in the day. Look at that. Like, that is not necessary. Why would you wear that to play paintball? I don't know why, but just look at it. They made me feel like a badass. Here's another picture of me playing paintball. See me right there in the black tactical uniform behind a barrel, just spraying away at some hopeless little underclassmen. There I am there. There's a sign. So yeah, I definitely played paintball back in the day. A lot of fun. I don't really know if it was the effort. Was it worth the effort to go grab this? I don't know. Here's a cartoon I made back in the day for the newspaper. That's me right there. Look at me. Hey Johnny Bravo, what kind of car do you drive? You know, the one with the custom-made lock? Oh, you mean the one that the door panel fell off? Or actually I scissor kicked it off because I was mad in my driveway one day. I drive a Ford Contour and I have a Chevy Impala. Both are like 9 years old. I actually wanted to buy a new car, something kind of badass. Like, at one point I was like, yeah, I want a fuel efficient vehicle like a Prius. And then I was like, I can't be a badass in a Prius. And I was like, I want a Dodge Challenger or a Dodge Charger. But then I'm like, I don't want to pay for that every month. So Roger Ebert passed away. What are your thoughts? That's 2 thumbs down. You know, that guy was the movie critic that I think inspired all these other YouTube movie critics. You know, without him, who would really be striving to be a movie critic? You know what I mean? Because he's the one who took movie critics just out of some printed text format in some newspaper to, you know, this TV show where he's sitting there discussing films, and he made it cool and something to kind of strive for. So yeah, it kind of sucks. He was, you know, the most famous movie critic in my opinion. You know, the guy was battling cancer and all kinds of other shit, and you know, it was his time. Plus, I think he was 70 years old, so the guy had a full life. Yeah, good movie critic. So, yo, Johnny boy, what would you do if Leonardo DiCaprio was playing Batman? I don't think Batman's the right choice for old Leo. He's a little too small, a little bit too scrawny for the role. I couldn't see it. Yo, Johnny, okay, just read that. Yo, Johnny Ringo, have you ever seen the movie Hard Candy where Juno tortures a pedophile the whole movie? I have seen that movie, and I have some complaints about it. First of all, she kind of overpowers this man like 3 times in the movie. I don't buy the little 100-pound girl overpowering the guy. There was one point in the movie, I'm going to spoil the movie, so put your earmuffs on if you care. He ends up hanging himself because she has some dirt on him. It's just like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to hang myself because a little 110-pound girl says I did something, you know? First I'm going to kill her, and then I'm going to bury her body, and then I'm going to try to make up a better story than what she had. Things just got too real, didn't they? They got a little too real right there. Hey Flick, if money doesn't grow on trees, then why do banks have branches? That's a good one. Name the best movie from each decade. Oh man, you can't do that to me. I couldn't just sit here and do that. I mean, to even start out in 1970s, I mean, where do I go? Taxi Driver? Do I say Warriors, which is kind of like my favorite? I mean, and then you go to the 1980s, and it's just like there's so many classic 80s teen comedies, and you got The Predator. It's just, how do you pick a movie from each decade? It's impossible. Well, the best movie from the 1980s was obviously Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone. Most outdated movie from 70s and go up. Dude, I don't know. I just mentioned Warriors was from the 70s. Could you imagine, like, gangs trying to be badasses on roller skates? Like, hey man, I'm gonna kick your ass on the roller skates. It's just like, yeah, you can kick my ass, but I'm gonna walk to the top of these stairs. I'll see you later. With so many money-making franchises, sequels set for 2015, do you think 2015 will be the biggest money-making year ever? It's a possibility. I mean, when you're coming out with Avengers Part 2 and all kinds of, like Avatar Part 2, I mean, it's possible. John, please tell us your ATM PIN, social security number, bank account details, and home address. Thanks, buddy. Trust me, the only thing you would get from that is a big list of debt. You want to switch identities? Let's do it, man. Send me your shit. We'll switch them. I'll do it for you. Trust me, the only thing you're going to do is have college debt, student loans, a house payment, a cell phone payment, 18 other different payments, a bill collector calling you every day. Yeah, probably some other shit somewhere. I don't remember what I've done. What do you think about Silver Linings Playbook? Yet to see it. What is your view on Finding Dory? I could care less, man. I really could. Finding Dory. I mean, I liked Finding Nemo, but the sequel, I'm not too amped. It's just like Monsters University. Sorry, make The Incredibles 2, and then I'll give a shit, Pixar. Yo, Johnny McSwagdaddy, are you willing to fork out the money for the Ultimate Edition Avengers set, the Nick Fury case thing? $160 for movies I already own that come in a plastic briefcase? Probably not. I tell you what I could do. I could go buy a briefcase, and one made out of metal, put an LED light in it, throw all my movies in there, and I could do it a lot cheaper. That's an overpriced set. It's cool. Would I buy it for the right price? Maybe, but $160, no way. Yo, Johnny Jelly Roll, what is the most disturbing thing you've ever seen? And I'm Luke Sherman, the guy who wants a Skype interview. Hello, Luke Sherman. Most disturbing thing I've ever seen. I've seen someone that was just shot with a gun. and that was pretty crazy. And it's not like the movies. It's very different in reality. But yeah, that was pretty weird. The wrestler, the fighter, or warrior? Which one do I like better? I definitely not the fighter. It was good, but I don't know. I'll probably go with the warrior on that one. Tom Hardy's a badass, but the wrestler is very close. I love the movie The Wrestler. Review Django Unchained, lazy. When the Blu-ray comes out, we'll talk about Django Unchained. How's that? John, how's life treating you? It's okay. It's good. I got a lot of free time nowadays, I can tell you that. But just busy, you know, trying to make things happen. Trying to do more YouTube videos, which is hard. YouTube videos take a lot of time. I mean, just for a stupid one little video, like a 3-minute video, I'm sitting there editing it for an hour. My computer crashes, and I have to upload it, and then I have to make a thumbnail, and then I have to, you know, do all the other little things that go with it. It's just like a whole process. I want to hire like some kid from community college, preferably like an Asian kid. I think Asian kids are smarter, and I have them come and do all this for me. So, good God. Okay, you asked 17 questions. Yeah, okay, I'll answer a couple. Yo, Johnny Boy, can you do a Jack Nicholson impression? Let's talk about 1976. Sorry, that was Batman mixed in there. I'll answer another question of yours. You got like 17 more? Okay, I'll answer this one. Hey, Johnny, I have 3 very important questions on 3 separate comments. Please answer all of them. You got a lot of questions, man. Just 2 questions per person, preferably. I'll answer this one. Hey, how the flick do you pick out a Blu-ray to watch of your collection? I would go crazy trying to decide. I'll answer that one for you. I don't have 73 minutes to sit here and talk about all the other ones. You know, last night I was sitting there trying to pick out a movie to watch, and I was like, I want to go somewhere. I want to be futuristic. I want something that's going to make my eyeballs pop out of my head, make me feel amazing, make me feel like the big man I am. And I put Avatar in for some reason. I don't know how I pick these things. The other night I watched The Punisher. Why? I don't know. It's hard. It really is hard sometimes. I sit there for 30 minutes sometimes in front of my movies trying to pick one out. I'll make a video about it sometime, the whole process I go through. It's bizarre. Hey, Johnny Mother Rusher, what do you think of the movie Air Force One and Naomi Watts movie? What Naomi Watts movie do you recommend? I've been in a huge mood to see one of her films. I think she is hot as hell for some reason. Well, the reason is just the genetics, man. She's just very classically beautiful looking. I would say, what are we even talking about? Air Force One. I've seen it. Good movie. I liked it. Very mid-90s action movie. I don't know. Watch The Ring. She did very good in the first Ring movie. You could watch, what is it? I just got retarded. Help me. Help me think of what I'm thinking. King Kong. That's it. You know, you can see a big giant ape holding her in the palm of his hand. I'd like to hold Naomi Watts in the palm of my hand and just kind of squeeze her a little bit tight. Have you seen the Creepshow films? What do you think of them? I have seen them. I don't remember anything about them, though. Maybe I haven't seen them. Hey, Johnny, I saw your recap of the season finale of Walking Dead, and I completely agree with you on everything. I hated the episode, and it didn't do the comics justice. Yeah, I agree, man. The season finale of The Walking Dead was a letdown, and you can disagree with me. That's fine if you liked it. I just felt like, as a storytelling method, it was a huge letdown. If you look at that, nothing was accomplished. Literally nothing plot-wise happened. You had all this build-up, and nothing happened. I mean, sure, now everybody realizes the governor's an asshole, but most of them are dead because he shot him in the damn back. So really, nothing happened. Nothing progressed. Are you going to do another entire collection video soon of all your movies? I don't know. Maybe one of those days. When I do those videos, I'm just really hyper, and I'm like, fuck it, let's go. I All right, I think I'm gonna cut this here shortly, and I will make part 2 in a couple days. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, check out my last couple videos. One of them is I find Walter White from Breaking Bad at a gas station, and then the other one I play around in Walmart. So check those out, and I'll see you guys next time.